What's up, knife nuts? Um, if you're reading the thumbnail, I got a new knife. Wanted to share it with you. This one here, boy. So there's a story behind it. Let me get my stuff situated here, and I'll tell you the story. Not a very interesting story, but anyway, I'm in residential remodeling. I get a call from one of our members in the Facebook group to go look at his house, to look at a project he had. And when we got done, he asked me if I wanted to go look at knives, and I was like, yeah, hello. So I went upstairs and looked at his knives, and whoo, that boy had a knife collection. So he asked me if I wanted to trade, and I'm like, yeah, you ain't, or if I wanted to buy some of his knives. Like, yeah, I mean, you ain't gotta ask me twice. You got anything cool, I'm all for it. So this is one of the knives he whooped out. Todd Begg Steelcraft Bodega Damasteel. Now, like some of you, I didn't know much about Todd Begg. I'd seen them. I knew they were a high-end knife. I didn't know about the Steelcraft version and the custom version and the mid-tech version. So if you don't know, the long story short, the Steelcraft version is their production version. And that's what this is, but they're still expensive. Like this knife here, brand new, is like $800 ish. But that's a lot of it's the Damasteel. Without the Damasteel, I think it's like 500 or under. They even had some that were 3 something, right? But I didn't handle it very much. I really love Damasteel, so he made me a deal, and we worked something out, traded a couple knives and whatnot, and I ended up with it. Didn't look it over that close. Wasn't even sure if it was one I was gonna like or keep. I just wanted to review it and see if I liked it. And I've had it throughout the day today, and I can tell you that I am in love with this knife, man. This thing here, I cannot imagine. I watched a few reviews while I was driving down the road today. I cannot imagine the custom being any better than this. I guess you could make it, there might be something you can do to make it nicer, and the fact that it's handcrafted, I respect all that. But man, to call this a production knife is a joke, because I've handled a few customs and a whole lot of mid-techs, and none of them have measured up to this knife. The action on this knife is stupid. Now this knife is made in China, but it's not necessarily sourced out to a Chinese factory to save money. The man that builds these lives in China. Okay, that's kind of what I got from it. I want you to just kind of, I don't know if the camera can even pick up too much of it, but look at the detail. I mean, they didn't miss a thing. Look at the back spacer, all the way around to the badass milled pocket clip with the hidden screws, with the Begg polished ceramic ball on the clip, lock bar stabilizer, over travel stop, custom pivot, not to mention that crazy Damasteel blade. I love me some Damasteel. This knife, the action on this knife is insane. You can't misfire this knife. It's just not possible. You can just lightly pull on that thing and it'll fire every single time. And then I mean, look at that. This knife is just the feeling, the looks, the quality. It's stupid. I mean, it's crazy. This knife, to me, is worth a lot more than its retail price, because I've handled several customs that don't measure up to this knife. I can promise you that. I'm not going to name any names, but I've handled several of them that don't measure up. Big names. Just because something's a custom don't mean it's the best. To me, replicating perfection over and over and over is much more difficult than handcrafting one single knife. I want to see if you can catch the light of that pivot. It's like jeweled, and I don't know if the light can see it. It sparkles. Like right now when I'm seeing it, I see it looks like a diamond. It's got lines milled in it. When the light catches it, it's like a diamond. I don't know if the camera will pick that up or not, but it's just beautiful. The weight's great. The action is like butter. Just a really cool knife. Man, did not expect to like that knife that much. So, also new to the fleet, I'll show you a full custom Direware Hyper 40. Now this fits every aspect of a custom. This is a full custom with an amazing Damascus clip. I love the big beefy blades, the big beefy knives, and that's what this is. It's razor sharp S110V. I like this better, much better. Not dogging this out. I love this big fat badass custom knife. Just got it today. It's brand new. Still got the honeymoon phase on it. Love this much more. I recently just got the Strider, and I'm in love with that, of course. And I tell you what, I'm gonna have a hard time tomorrow deciding which one to carry. A very hard time. It'd probably be both of them. But I'll put some knives up beside it so you can kind of see the footprint of it. It fits my wheelhouse. It's a big knife, but it carries well in the pocket. The action's badass. It's fidgety. That's a PM2. You can see it kind of swallows a PM2. Let's put a Gale Bradley, Spyderco Gale Bradley. Much bigger. And one more for good measure. The Subvert. Looks like they're about the same size, and the Subvert's a beast, but the Subvert feels like a beast in a good way. But this doesn't. The proportions of this, it doesn't look like a crazy knife. I love that big wide blade with all that milling and that, I guess you could call that a blood groove. You can call it what you want to when you own it, right? Man, that is just cool. Man, you could look at this thing for an hour and not see all the amazing details in the chamfering. How do you do this on a quote-unquote production knife made by Reate? Which, from what I've seen, those guys build some quality knives. Forget the fact whether it's a custom production mid-tech. They just build badass knives, evidently. Because I tell you what, this is a badass knife. And if you run across one, or if you're halfway interested, on my word, get it, and you will be surprised. And unlike some of the little bit higher end knives, you get it and all the hyped it up, and you're a little bit disappointed with it. You're still happy with it, but not as happy as everybody said you were going to be. The exact opposite will happen with this knife. The longer you own it, the more you'll love it. The more you use it, the more you fidget it, the more you flip it, the more you'll love it. Todd Begg Steelcraft Bodega, made by Reate. Check it out. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Peace.